Good day, fellow investors. On my last video, Stan wrote this amazing comment, how if I got more than 15% for 20 years, then someone would hire me for $10 million. I would do greatly. So whether I want to do YouTube videos and sell books or work for Fidelity or JP Morgan. And this is an amazing comment that can give you so much investing value. And also I want to share here my message that is probably different for most of those focused on the ivory tower of Wall Street compared to just investing freedom. And here I want to discuss my circumstances that are likely much different than most of those who watch from developed countries. I'm not from a developed market. I was born in a frontier market. That's a huge difference. Then when it comes to investing, it's not linear. It's about taking the right opportunity when it is offered to you, which doesn't depend, again, on the linearity that Wall Street is always selling, because linearity is much easier to sell. And I want to close with a message that I think will give you a lot of value and food for thought for your life. Let's start with my circumstances that are, let's say, again, unique. I was born in the Communist Socialist Federative Republic of Yugoslavia. When I was 7, a war started. It ended when I was 13, 15, depending how you look at it. Those are already different circumstances than most of you had. And I'm sure Fidelity would not say, oh yes, invest your 100 million here with us, we'll give 20 to these kids from the Balkans or something like that. So that's a first circumstances, but that's an advantage for me, I think. And when it comes to investing, I started on the Croatian stock market, frontier market, and I started here and I bought businesses that I liked. Then I made a lot of money when the market boomed and there was this craze. I sold, bought a boat, paid for my PhD, but then again, I bought again big here, invested, and my stocks, unlike the market, did really, really well. Sold, bought a house, started again, and did also well in the last couple of years, as we discussed in that video that Stan was commenting on. But these are certainly different circumstances when compared to the S&P 500 that has a completely opposite chart than this, I think. Then something else that's very important is I started with nothing. For me, it was penny by penny by penny to slowly start, then looking for ways to enhance my small capital. Because in high school, I was catching these worms that I would sell to fishermen, and I was pinching after school 50 euros here, 50 there, and really saving, not spending anything, living very frugally to get ahead a little bit. And I remember this peculiar story. I was washing my car when I was about 22 years old in front of my house. This was my car. I really loved it. And yes, it was a cheap, frugal car. And my cousin came and said, Sven, why are you washing your car when you can go down to the washing place, whatever, pay about €6, $6, and they can wash it for you. And I come from a place where $6 were of enormous value for me long term, because I knew that if I invest or I spend those $6, there is a huge difference. Now, this might be really, really ridiculous to you, but for me, from my perspective, it made a huge difference. So $6, if we invest it over 10 years, and let's say we make 25%, then calculate the returns there. So $6 become $55. That is a huge difference for me. And then okay, when you have a little, you start thinking, okay, if I spend 10 now, which means that in 10 years that can be 100. So now you say 25%. Yes, 25% returns on investment are ridiculously low, because I'm not just talking on buying this stock or that. I'm talking investing in yourself, maximizing your income, investing in your education. How do you maximize your earning potential? That is also the core of investing, not just buying a stock. So I was always thinking, if I bring my car to the car wash and pay, it means I will not have the money 5 years down the road to pay for my PhD or to move to London to get a job with Bloomberg, which then is a game changer. So very small things are game changers. So that's very, very important for me, at least. Because if you look at my history, when I started working when I was 25, my salary was about 500 euros, $500. Then when you do all the exams and everything, it goes up to 700, which is not much. And my PhD, the cost of it, of the education, I didn't buy it, I wrote it, it was 7,000. And for me, it was a lot. Of course, when you compare with educational costs globally, it is ridiculous. But from where I started, it was a lot of money. And just by the saving, by the investing, by the frugality, by the thinking, I managed to open that opportunity for me. And those opportunities were created also because I understood that nothing is linear in life. When you have the opportunity, you have to take it. But when the opportunity gets, you also have to be ready to take it. As I told you in that video, I was buying this camping site here and I did really, really well. But I was having the right mindset to buy something of value that I liked, no matter what the market did, because the dividend was good. And I was setting aside money. I had the money that I saved in the past, despite studying, despite doing, to give myself the opportunity to have more in the future. And for me, that's the core of investing. And that's the message that I always want to share. And that's one reason why I don't like mindless investing. I don't like passive investing. I don't like index funds, because when you eliminate the thinking process, you lose the ability to take advantage of the opportunities that come here and there. That's the key. And if you lose that opportunity, if you put yourself in a framework, the Fidelity or this, or I have to invest like that or that, then you lose the freedom, you lose the flexibility, which is a huge advantage for your financial life. That's my key message when it comes to investing. It's a hard message to deliver, but for those who understand it, I think it's extremely valuable. And then also when it comes to working with Fidelity or things like that, when I was a year or 2 years into my YouTube channel, I got an offer to set up a business from people from the US who were very, very successful in setting up businesses, doing everything properly. They would make a special studio for me, have funds, have this, have that, have an investment banking firm back me up and everything. And that would, yes, made me likely, especially with how things went over the last 5 years, that would have made me tens of millions per year. But I didn't want it, and I'm so happy now that I didn't do it, because for me, investing is about reaching my financial and other kinds of freedom. If I would have sold my soul to them 5 years ago, I would have lost my freedom, I would have made my life miserable, and that's it. It's not about how much money you have, it's about having enough money so that you can be free, can be whatever you want. I hope to die poor but live large, and investing helps me in that. We are all much different perspectives, much different everything. But at the end, the message is that investing that works is always the same. And for me, it is about dividends, about price earnings ratios, about owning businesses. And if you go to Fidelity, they will tell you, okay, let's put 20 million with this contra fund, let's put 20 million in bonds, let's do this, so that they get their fees. And that's not the independence, that's not the thinking. And if I would have followed such a strategy, I would still be a poor kid somewhere in Eastern Europe. And that's the difference in perspective. So to conclude, I'll keep trying to find those opportunities, investing, and sending that message that investing can help you and should help you in your life. But if you understand it, then you know how to take advantage of the opportunity when the opportunity arises. It's not linear. Keep that in mind. Nothing in life is linear. And if you can understand that, you have a huge advantage. no matter what you do in life.